Good morning, geometry. So today I wanted us to move on with our transformations, and I want to actually show you how to perform what's called a series of transformations. All that means is that you're doing more than one. We're not going to do rotations. That's one that's I haven't figured out a way for us to do it remotely, so we're just going to stick with the reflections and the translation. So any of these series that I ask you to do is going to be a combination of just those two. So you might be doing two translations back to back, or two reflections back to back, or one of each. It just kind of depends on the problem. So my goal is to show you how to do these. So simply, probably the best way to explain it is that you're going to do them one at a time. So what I mean by that is I've got a translation here, so that's going to be number one, and then I've got a reflection. Okay, translate 2 units to the left and 1 unit up, then reflect it across the y-axis. So we have to do the translation completely before we reflect it. So you're going to actually create two figures. So I'm going to translate 2 to the left and 1 up. So 2, 1, there's my new z. 2, 1, there's my new y. 2, 1, there's my new x. 2, 1, there's my new w. If you haven't gotten used to this Cami program yet, just give it time. It does get easier to navigate. Just takes a little time. All right, so now I need to label these because it is a transformation. I've created a new figure. So I'm going to go back and label these. I've got, make my font a little bigger here. I've got a new z. I've got a new y. Over here I've got a new x. And a new w. Right, so now, when I do the reflection, I'm going to reflect the green figure. I'm going to reflect the one that I just made. That's the one that's getting reflected across the y-axis. So read these carefully, because if you reflect it across the wrong axis, you're not going to get the right picture. So I'm going to take each of these points, and I'm going to reflect them to the right across the y-axis. So my y point is going to be 3 units on the other side. My z point is going to be 5 units on the other side. W is going to be 1. And since my x, my new x point is on the axis that I'm reflecting across, it's not actually going to move. It's going to stay there. Throw my line in here. Okay. So again, when you go back and label these, this one's going to be a little bit different because it's the second new figure. So the way I denote that is when I put 2 of the prime markings on it. So I'm going to put a z and 2 apostrophes. This will be y double prime is what that's called. And then w double prime. It's a weird word. And then you can, I honestly, I don't care if you put a second x point in there, since it's physically the same point. You can change it or not. It doesn't matter to me. But just for the sake of being, I think I deleted my first one. Just for the sake of kind of being complete. Okay, do the first transformation and then do the second one. So this one is a reflection and then a translation. So reflect across the x-axis. So here's my x-axis. So these points are going to flip down below the axis. So W is going to go all the way down here. V is going to be 1 unit above it. Y is going to be 2 units below. And X is going to be all the way down here in the corner. If you haven't done this reflection unit or reflection assignment yet, all I'm doing is I'm basically making sure that my points are below the axis the same number of units they were above the axis. So W is all the way up here at the top. So when I reflect it, it needs to be all the way down here at the bottom. V was 4 units above the axis. So when I reflect it, it needs to be 4 units below the axis. Y is 2 and 2. X, 5 and 5. Then connect the dots. Connect the dots and label them. So I cut out a lot of me clicking and dragging and just to kind of shorten the video. Those of you that are watching the videos, I do appreciate it. So what I would like you to do on today's assignment, pick 2 problems. There's 4, pick 2. I don't care which 2 you do. For the people that aren't watching the videos and jump in and do the assignment without knowing what they're doing, this is for you guys that are watching the videos. I appreciate it. Thank you.